early on, it's often surprising. When I say early on, I mean when people are first exposed to this talk about awakening and realization. It's often surprising how little insight people have, at least as far as whether they suffer. I've had people outright just say, well, I don't suffer. I don't even know what you mean by that, right? And I've reflected on that, trying to figure out why someone would say that, to what degree they actually believe it, and to what degree it's more just like a front or a persona, part built into the persona of trying to convince others you feel good when you don't, and so forth. But I think it's pretty intertwined with identity, actually. We get so in our head, we get so intertwined with thought and the conditioned patterns of thought that we don't even realize the degree to which we're being run by thought, by like a puppet, which strongly includes our processing of theory of mind. I mean, theory of mind meaning our awareness of another person's internal world, and then our nearly constant when we're with somebody, or probably constant, and even when we're not with people, pretty ongoing interface with what we perceive to be the mind of others, even the collective mind of others, which would mean something like public opinion, the world's view of us. And we identify so much with that often we spend a lot of our lives or a lot of our free time upholding or reinforcing that persona, which is really several layers superficial to who we actually are, what we actually want, or what's actually going on. But it seems to have a certain currency to it, social currency and so forth. So if this sounds too abstract to anyone, I'm sure it doesn't in here, but anyone listening, just look at social media. Just watch what happens. People posting, look how happy I am, look how great my kids are, look how smart my kids are, look how, all of it, right? How wealthy I am, all the stuff I have, look at the new thing I bought, look how clever I am, all of it, right? But you could ask, you could stop and go, why do that? Does it actually help? What does it do for us? Sure, it makes other people a little jealous of you. Sure. Does that help you? Makes people feel competitive, but sort of in a bit of a hidden way, in the same hidden way that you're bragging, right? So this stuff goes on. It's prevalent, right? It's very, very common. But I think that is a symptom of what I'm talking about. Like we don't even stop to think of like, well, what else could I be doing aside from what everyone else is doing, right? It becomes competitiveness with what you own, keeping up with the Joneses and all that sort of thing. But it's also why we do a lot of what we do, why we drink what we drink, eat what we eat, act the way we do, dress the way we do, social conditioning. A lot of it's benign, it doesn't really matter, but some of it's surprising. If you look at style and trends of style, it's sort of like that as well, right? That's, just a symptom of what I'm talking about. But underneath it, there's this pervasive and surprisingly compelling tendency and need to do what other people do, to impress people, to, we do it with everything. We do it with our kids, we do it with ourselves, with our image, with our bodies, with our everything, right? What we own. I think if you look deeply enough, you're already making an assumption that's based on a belief about yourself that you're not happy really, fundamentally. So the next best thing is to convince other people you are. And as silly as that is, it's tragic that we spend that much energy doing it. But again, when identity is built into that, when identity is built into the constant projection of a persona that seems to be socially endorsed, at least right now, and that can even be stressful, right? Because that changes. What's socially endorsed changes, right? So it takes a lot of energy to keep our finger on the pulse of that constantly moving and completely insane social matrix. What a waste of time, right? And yet we do it.